Turns out Disney wanted to make another $1 billion, so they went ahead and released a Disney Emoji iPhone game. No need to beat around the bush, Disney just released a new mobile game in which you unlock emojis that you can use in chat, and here's how it works. Now, the first thing you're going to do after you load up the app and you put in your age is you're going to pick which first emoji you want to unlock. You get to pick from Sully, Ariel, or Simba. I'm going to go with Ariel because that's Kat's favorite character, and I don't have a particular attachment to either of the three. And it's going to start to run you through the tutorial. Now, the tutorial is going to teach you how to play the game, and it's like any other standard match 3 game, so there's nothing really important here. Instead, what I'm going to focus on is how to start using these emojis right away, because if you're not used to unlocking different emojis or keyboards on a phone, there's more to it than just loading up the app for the first time. So what you're going to do on the iPhone is you're going to go back out to your home screen. You're going to go ahead and go to your settings, and under settings, you're going to go to the general tab. Once you load into that, you should find a keyboard tab. And once you head into that, you're going to see keyboards and then a number next to it. It's usually 1 or 2. 1 if you just have the keyboard, 2 if you have emojis. I have 3 because I use the Gboard. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do add new keyboard. And that's going to give you a couple of options. Now you'll see there, Emoji Blitz is the Disney Emoji Blitz keyboard. You're going to hit that, and it's going to be added to your list. Now before you can use it, you have to then go into Emoji Blitz, and you have to make sure Allow Full Access is checkmarked on. Now by default it's off. If you turn it on, it'll give you this warning. Full access allows the developer of this keyboard to transmit anything you type, including things you have previously typed with this keyboard. This could include sensitive information, such as your credit card number or street address. We're going to allow it in this case. Now, when I go into my text messaging and start up a new message, it'll let me use the keyboard. Now, if you've never used an emoji keyboard before, you're looking for that little globe down there. That's going to switch between your different keyboards. Right now, I'm on my normal keyboard. If I hit it again, it switches me to my Google keyboard. I hit it again, it switches me over to my Disney emoji keyboard. And it works similar to regular emojis. You've got a favorites over on the left, you've got your characters, you've got props, which are like hands and other items and symbols, and then you can even throw in numbers. And the way it works is similar to how a lot of these new third-party emoji apps work, which is they're not technically keyboard emojis, they're images that are just sort of built into the keyboard and make it easier. So if I want to throw a couple of Mickey emojis in here, I just tap on them. And you'll notice that it doesn't go into the text field, it goes into that little subtext field. And when I hit this little pop-up window button here, it'll copy it. And what it really did was just input those 3 images and copy them. So now when I go here and paste them, boom, there you go. And then I can send them as emojis. Back to the game. Again, like I said, it's your standard match 3 game. There's nothing really special about it. It works with power-ups if you match 4. There are power-ups for whichever emoji you're playing with. And then by playing, you win money, which you use to unlock new emojis. So it's kind of interesting that they've taken something that would have otherwise been sort of like a free one-time setup app and turned it into a game. Is this going to work? Who knows? I don't know of any other company that's really done this, where they take the idea of a utility app like emojis and then, gamify it, so to speak. So from this more emoji screen, you can see all the emojis that you've got collected and you can pick between them. What's pretty cool is each emoji has its own power-up that changes the way the game is played. I think that's pretty cool. And from the emoji shop, you don't get to specifically pick which emoji you're going to get. So you get your free prize, which I'm assuming is on some sort of countdown timer. In this case, I got 3 gems. Hooray! Yeah, so 8 hours later, I get another free prize. The first time I tried that, I got coins. Maybe you'll get a free emoji. I don't know. We'll see. And then you could pick between these 2. You've got your gold box and your silver box. So while you can't pick a specific emoji you want, they are sort of tiered. So your silver box here is your sort of basics. You got your Donald, your Mickey, your Goofy, the Fab Five, Simba, Ariel, Sully, Randall, Mike, Bambi, Sebastian, and Flounder. And then you've got your gold box here, and that contains your Tinkerbell, Genie, Alice, Cheshire Cat, White Rabbit, Woody, Buzz, Alien, Kermit the Frog, Fozzie Bear, Cinderella, Elsa. As you can see, there's way more in the gold box than there is in the silver box. They really want you saving up for that. Dory, Nemo, Judy Hop, so on and so forth. You buy them with coins. Of course, if you don't have enough coins, you can trade in your gems for coins. And of course, if you don't have enough gems, you can go ahead and spend cold hard cash. I mean, I'm not going to fault them for it. It is 2016. That's how these games sort of work. They do have to pay for it somehow. One thing that I'd really like to point out that I'm not a big fan of, but I'm not really going to hold it against Disney because a lot of apps do this, is that they're really, really confusing with the conversions. You know, for instance, a silver box is 15,000 coins, a gold box is 30. Okay, simple enough. However, there is no 15 and 30 when it comes to trading in gems for those coins. You have a 6,000 increment, 40,000, 87,000, and 195,000. And then it gets even more confusing because if you want to go ahead and buy those gems, you buy them in increments of 81, 270, 486. It's all messy so that you're left with all these leftovers so that you feel more compelled, I guess, to spend more to even it out and get something. Now, I did a little rough math just to get an idea of how much you'd have to spend to get a certain amount. And if you were to buy the $49.99 2800 gem pack, that would roughly translate to over 400,000 coins, which would get you about 14 gold boxes. So, I mean, $50 for what will amount to 14 sets of emojis? I don't know. I mean, the value of that's going to be up to you guys. On top of that, you have more lives, so I guess you can only play in limited increments, so you can't just grind it all out. Or if you do want to grind it all out, you have to, again, pay some gems. And as you can see, the cost of these are like 30, 50, 30, 300, 600. So it's enough that, like, you know, your 3 free gems that you get isn't really going to cut it and keep you going. So what do I think of Disney Emoji Blitz? It's funny because on the surface, it looks like such a weaker game when you compare it to something like Disney Magic Kingdoms. Yet at the same time, it's much more of a game than Disney Magic Kingdoms is. You know, sure, it's just a match 3 game and there are a million of those out there, but I think it's really interesting that they've created a match 3 game in which the prizes you unlock have use outside of the game itself. Usually it's just a high score. Usually it's just unlocks for the game that continue to let you play the game. Yet this is, they're emojis. They're something you can use every day in your texts and your chats and things like that. I think it's really clever the way they did it. I'm not a major fan of the way they do the coin and gem system. I think it's a little intentionally confusing. Not to say that they're not the only company out there that does it, but it's just a shame to see them just following that trend. I'm not against in-app purchases in general. It's a free game. You got to pay for it somehow. I just wish it was a little more transparent so it'd be easier to know how much you're buying and know what you're going to get out of that, and make it a little less nebulous so you're not buying more than you actually need. I think the emojis themselves are really cool. And obviously, this is going to be a really easy game to continue to update, right? Just by adding more emojis. You know, by having that element where you don't get to specifically pick the emoji you want, but you sort of pick from the bucket of emojis you want, is a nice balance between making it too easy so that, you know, some players will just get like the 3 or 4 they want and then stop playing, or just making it too hard where you're never going to know and it's always random. It's like a nice middle ground there, so I kind of like that. It works really well. It's a simple game. I'm not a major fan of like the timed match 3 games, but, you know, that's sort of how they work, so there's no, you know, can't blame them for that. Overall, I think it's a good idea. I think it's pretty fun. I think it's going to be a lot more replayable than something like Disney Magic Kingdoms, and it's going to have much more use outside of something like Disney Magic Kingdom. So I'm really happy to see it there. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. I hope they continue to add more emojis, and I can't wait to see where it goes. If you want to check it out yourself, again, it's called Disney Emoji Blitz. It is on the App Store on iOS. It's on the Android store. It's free to play. You've got nothing to lose but a little bit of time. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more Disney videos, including trip vlogs, Q&As, app reviews like this one, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think of the game down below in the comments, or let me know on Twitter. I'm at RobPlays. I hope you have a great week. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it because it makes it that much better. And I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody. So this week, a new app came out for both iOS and Android called Disney Magic Kingdoms. It is a free-to-play game that sort of sells itself as a way for you to build your very own Disneyland. And I played it for a couple of days, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, maybe do like a miniature review.